Have you ever gotten lost in a movie or a book to an extent that you forgot about the surroundings? Have you ever started daydreaming? Have you ever seen such a person who experiences delusions or tends to self-harm himself? Have you ever wondered about the life of the people with multiple personality disorder and what challenges they face? If yes, you must be interested to know about multiple or split personality disorder, commonly known as DID, or dissociative identity disorder. It was called multiple personality disorder in the past. Here, you will watch some facts and stories in this amazing video. Keep watching, as it is going to be an informative, interesting, and mind-blowing video. So, let's get started. Firstly, what is split personality disorder, or DID? Before understanding the DID, remember one thing: multiple personality, or dissociative identity disorder, should not be confused with alterations of mood from happy to sad, characteristic of the cyclic temperament. These are merely emotional swings. Personality splits are far more comprehensive, says Ralph Selvenko. Rather, a split personality refers to dissociative identity disorder, or DID, a mental disorder where a person has two or more distinct personalities. I feel the fact is quite fascinating and frightening that you have any body with many shades or alters. Dissociative identity disorder, or DID, is explained as the presence of two or more different personalities within a single body that are awake at different times. You must be shocked to know that each personality has its own name, gender, age, personality traits, history, thoughts, actions, and behaviors. I'm spellbound, aren't you? Let's look what someone with DID says. I'm complicated, sentimental, lovable, honest, loyal, decent, generous, likable, and lonely. My personality is not split, it's shredded. Here, another fact. The split personality disorder is not as common and as complex as it has been portrayed in the movies and novels. WHO says it affects around 1% of the population, and some professionals believe that it actually doesn't exist at all. Usually, the primary or host identity is more passive, and it's ignorant to the other personalities who take control over some periods of time. Let's understand this with an example. A male may switch to a female personality trait for a certain time period, completely forgetting his original identity. Are you curious why this strange disorder happens in the first place? Let's learn about the causes. Causes of DID. The exact cause of split personalities is still to be revealed exactly, but research tells us its strong connection with trauma or sexual or physical abuse during childhood. Studies show that 90% of the patients with personality disorders are victims of severe trauma in childhood. Also, a home environment that's frightening, natural disasters, and wars can cause dissociative disorders. How can we recognize its presence? Let's check the symptoms and signs. Signs and symptoms. People affected with DID have carrying symptoms, but usually they suffer from a switching of personalities. They also feel sudden memory loss with no clues of being anywhere, or they feel themselves in a parallel but different world with some other character to play. Some other signs include a sense of feeling unreal or imaginary, or disconnected from real life, hearing strange voices, and having hallucinations. A patient of DID explains it by saying, "When I was 15, I began to notice memory loss, moments of anxiety, intense depression, and times when I felt like someone else was taking over my body. I felt sort of possessed." Here I would like to tell you some prominent symptoms, so keep watching this mindful video. Amnesia, or memory loss for certain people, events, places, etc. A significant change in a person's sense of self. A sense of being dissociated from yourself. A sense of feeling the real surroundings imagery. When the personalities take over, they often use different tones and vocabulary. Even the other personality may have different habits. A blurred sense of self-identity. Issues and stress over workplace, in relations and other grounds. Depression, anxiety, emotional and professional stress, and suicidal thoughts. trance-like and out-of-body experiences, and disturbed sleeping patterns. Diagnosis and seeking help. The diagnosis of split personality disorder is not easy, as doctors need to observe many factors and need not to misdiagnose it with other mental health conditions. Doctors usually make a close observation on different personalities taking over during the specific times. Here, a piece of advice. If you have a disturbed mental health or issues, always be eager to take help. Talking to a friend, family, doctor, or trusted community leader may be helpful. Treatment. There is not any particular treatment for DID. It varies with each case report. The treatment includes psychotherapy with necessary drugs. Long-term treatment is useful if patients cooperate. Psychotherapy, also known as talk therapy, is helpful in fusing the different personality traits into one person. It also helps to cope with post-traumatic experiences. Another effective treatment is hypnotherapy, which can be used to help access repressed memories, control some of the problematic behaviors which accompany DID, as well as help integrate the personalities into one. Moreover, art therapy, relaxation therapy, and movement therapy may all play an obliging role in the treatment of DID. In fact, we all need to help the people with split or multiple personality disorders around us. Someone rightly said, "I have different friends that fit with different parts of my personality." Last but not least, I would like to tell our viewers about criminals who claim to have multiple personalities. Billy Milligan. Milligan was accused of several rape cases, robbery, and kidnapping in 1978. His case gained national attention when his lawyer claimed that another personality trait committed the crimes, and not Billy. Surprisingly, the court sent him to a psychiatrist hospital, and he was not punished. Whether these criminals committed the crimes deliberately or their alter egos did, this one quote shows how they were thinking. "I'm a man of many faces, and not one of them is soft on you." If you enjoyed watching and want to explore more like this with me again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications for our channel before you go. Thank you so much for watching.